Oh my goodness, it's the most wonderful time of the week.
It is.
We are live from apartment 101D in STARKVEGAS, Mississippi. It's Caleb AM.
It is Caleb.
I'm Caleb Griffin.
I'm Caleb Glad.
And we cannot be more excited to be here with all you people watching from home, or of course in the live audience. Thank you, of course, for being here, guys. It's always a pleasure. But to get started, as always, got the Bible verse of the week. This week brought to you by Mr. Caleb Ladd. Yeah.
Hello.
Give it up. Give it up.
This week, it is Psalms 55:22. It says, "Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never allow the righteous to be shaken."
Amen. Great verse.
Yeah. Finals are coming up.
Right.
I think everybody's stressed out a
Absolutely.
lot. I am very stressed.
Yeah.
But
Got my first final today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good luck, my brother.
Thank you, my brother.
But yeah.
Yeah.
If you cast your burden on the Lord, if you trust the Lord,
Yeah.
you are constantly in prayer, He will, as it says, sustain you.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to let the righteous be shaken. And I think that's a good reminder today.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I am not excited about finals,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm nervous about finals.
Yeah.
So,
We'll get through them together.
we will.
But
then once we get through these finals, I mean, next semester.
Oh my gosh, next semester's
next
gonna be
semester's
gorgeous.
awesome.
It's gonna be gorgeous.
And I'm dropping Spanish too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what I'm going to take, but I have options.
Yeah.
So,
It's sad that Spanish 2 is gonna be my lowest grade this semester, but it is what it is.
it happens.
Anyways, today's the last day of classes for this week. Thursday and Friday are reading days. And last day of November, which means you're not going to see the beautiful facial hair that we have given you the past 4 weeks on this show.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like keeping it, but I don't.
I don't feel like keeping mine. Mine's starting to bother me, even though I don't have near as much as you. But
I'm gonna shave down to the mustache
just to
see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then shave it because I'm not gonna like it. But,
Yeah.
Valid. It happens.
I think I've always wanted a mustache. That's just me personally, but I can't grow one, so it's a shame. Anyways, what energy drink are you popping today for your Wednesday morning caffeine?
I spoiled it when we started it because it was sitting on my lap, but I have a Swirly Pop Bang. I think I popped one of
Pretty
these
good crowd reaction.
2 weeks ago.
I think so. I remember trying it and I liked it. But it's a good one.
Yeah, no, I have a couple left, but they all expired like 3 months or 6 months ago. So I kind of need to. I'm just trying to drink.
Have they released a new bottle for that one yet?
No, I think they're keeping it in this cool like
Swirly
can because it's called Swirly Pop.
Right.
Best by September 14th, 2022. So
Yeah.
2 months. There was one of them that was best by June. So, but I figured I'd drink them.
Alrighty. Well, I got a white gummy bear rain.
One of the top tier flavors.
One of my all-time favorites. Talked about why we talked about why I drink rain before. I won't go into it. If you're a fan of the show, you know. If you're not, go back and watch old episodes, and you'll know.
Exactly.
So, binge watch the whole series. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun on this show.
I have a lot of fun.
And
do you have a lot of fun?
I have so much fun. And would you like to pop? Let me get you closer to the mic for the people listening to the podcast version. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't get how people don't like this one. It's so good.
That's refreshing. Did not have an energy drink last Wednesday, and that was very sad. But
it feels like we can get it more than this. I don't know if it's
so
this week, but it feels like it's been 2 weeks since the last Caleb.
I know it's been a long time, and it really hasn't been. Maybe it's because
it was Thanksgiving break too. It should have gone by fast.
I know.
Like I just
Dude, I'm sorry. That's such a good white gummy bear. I feel like I might die.
You mind if I?
That just hits so good. I don't even know if it tastes better than the other white gummy bears. I know sometimes Reigns taste different, but that just hits so good. I don't know if it's because I haven't had one in a long time or what, but that.
No, that's better than the normal.
Oh, that felt so good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Regardless, we had a question of the week this week. If you couldn't tell by the thumbnail, we asked the age-old question: Shipley's.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't have a question. I'm so sorry. Just habit.
Shipley's versus Krispy Kreme, the donut smackdown. Which chain donuts reign supreme? And we asked the general public this week on my Instagram. You can follow me at Caleb _ Griffin 11. You can follow Caleb Ladd.
Mine will be next week.
Next week.
Caleb, or you can still follow me now. But
Yeah.
Next week will be my question. Caleb _ Ladd 03.
Yes. And
I think every other time I've said my Instagram, I've said 03 because I'm used to saying 03. Sometimes people actually think I mean
yeah. It's a zero. The number zero.
Zero.
Yes.
Like 2003.
And when I say 11, it's not typing out the word 11. It's the numerical 1 1.
It's two ones.
2 ones with no spaces in between them. So we asked the general public what they thought on this, and we came down to a number percentage voting. Caleb, it is now your time to predict what you think the general public said, and then we'll say what the general public said and give our thoughts on it.
All right. Well, if we're gonna give our thoughts after,
Yeah.
then I'll keep my thoughts brief on my guess. But I think that most people, Krispy Kreme's a bigger name. Most people, love Krispy Kreme, and they don't have the chance to eat Shipley's as often. So I think it's more Krispy Kreme, but I think it's a little close. So I think it's 62-38. I think that's what you guessed for ham and turkey, but 62-38.
Pretty close. A little closer than that, though. The final tally was 57-43 Krispy Kreme.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's a 5% difference.
Yeah, you're close.
I think that's the best I've
You're
done.
close. Yeah, so I will say, to your point, I was looking at who voted for what, and it seemed like most of the people who did vote for Shipley's are people who live in Starkville, or
That makes sense.
who I personally know that have had Shipley's before. So that was kind of that. And then some people shocked me with voting Shipley's rather than Krispy Kreme, and vice versa. I thought people who would vote Shipley's voted Krispy Kreme. So,
yeah.
Here we are.
I had Shipley's the other day, and it really disappointed me.
I love.
And
I've never been
I
disappointed.
can't
by
say I've ever
Shipley's.
been disappointed at Krispy Kreme.
I have been disappointed
Like-
at Krispy Kreme.
I think Krispy Kreme. I mean, like when I got a bad flavor of a donut, but like I got just straight regular Shipley's, and it was just not that good. I was like really sad because I was so excited to get Shipley's too, but like I like how uniform Krispy Kreme is. Like it's always just like this round donut.
See, I don't like
And-
that because donuts are misshapen. That's the
They're not.
beauty of them.
They're rings.
Yeah, but
and
they're
then
misshapen rings.
I don't know, the regular glazed donut when it's hot is like a perfect donut. And I just think it's unbeatable. Krispy Kreme at its best is better than Shipley's at its best. But like most of the time I think I'd rather have Shipley's, honestly. Like it is
It's a hard question because I've never had a bad donut, like except for like a bad flavor at Krispy Kreme, or like raspberry filled stuff because I don't like that stuff. But like
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
your typical glazed donuts, chocolate glazed donuts, maple glazed donuts, stuff like that. I've never had a bad one, whether it's been Krispy Kreme, Shipley's, the Donut Factory, homemade bakeries I've been to, the
See, I think
bakery,
I'd put Donut Factory over
the
both of them.
the bakery at campus. I've never had a bad donut.
Those donuts at campus.
With that being said, I think the only competition Krispy Kreme's gives Shipley's when it comes to any type of donut is when they are hot and ready, or hot and fresh, glazed, when they come off that conveyor belt. I think that's the only time Krispy Kreme can compete with Shipley's. And with that being said, I'd still rather have a dozen from Shipley's because I like Shipley's donuts. They have that more home style taste. They don't have that factory setting feature that Krispy Kreme gets. And I love Krispy Kreme. Like, if I'm going to GameStop in Columbus, 9 times out of 10, I'm hitting Krispy Kreme. But that's because Shipley's isn't right there. And I love Shipley's donuts. They remind me more of a home bakery donut. And I like the taste of that a lot better, too. It tastes better to me.
When I was a kid, in like 4th grade, we took like a day trip with my school to like a zoo or something. And on the way,
A zoo or something.
yeah, we stopped at a Shipley's, and everybody just got plain donuts.
Mm-hmm.
But my teacher that was with us, she loved me, and I love her. She's awesome. She goes to my church. She's really awesome. But so she ended up getting like a cream filled donut, and it was like, you know, Shipley's cream filled donut.
I've had those. They're really good too.
And you know, I huddled over in the corner, was eating it in secret because I didn't want people to know that I was so special. And it was like the best thing ever. And then I didn't have a Shipley's cream filled donut until this year, actually. I felt like getting one because I was so excited. I was like, that was like the best thing I've ever put in my mouth. Like, it was so good. And it was like the most disappointing thing ever. I was so sad. I was like, maybe I was like had rose colored glasses on or something. But like, this is worse than a Krispy Kreme cream filled donut. And those are like in a 7 or an 8 on the Krispy Kreme scale. But that's one reason I like Krispy Kreme more. And then again, I think the like regular hot and ready Krispy Kreme donut is the best donut. Like, I can always think about what that tastes like, and it's so good. The glaze like melts in your mouth. You don't ever get that with Shipley's. Also, the last time I went there, I got some maple ones too, and they were not good.
Dude,
there was
I
something
don't know
wrong.
what you're talking about there,
and
man.
the donut
That's
holes
the
were
thing.
bad.
That's the thing
I
that
think they
gives
were
me.
all
That's the one thing that, like, when it comes close between Krispy Kreme and Shipley's, that's the one thing that just boots Shipley's way over Krispy Kreme is the fact that they have maple glaze. Because I love a maple glazed donut. The Donut Factory's maple glaze is perfection.
Yeah.
But this isn't the Donut Factory versus Krispy Kreme. This is Shipley's versus Krispy Kreme.
Again, I think I would have gone for Donut Factory. I started getting their prices are absurd. I started getting like a chocolate twist every day before work, and it was literally like $1.30, and it's like 3 times the amount of donut you get at any other place. And then I tried to get one of those twists at the campus thing, and it was like $3, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do I say no?
Bro, the Donut Factory, people always hate on me for this, but the maple glaze with the bacon
on it,
it's so good.
It's pretty good.
Like, I guess it's a sweet and savory type of thing put together, but like,
it's good.
It's so good. Like, if you don't knock it unless you try it, okay? Because it is a fantastic donut.
I mean, like, maple bacon is a thing. I
guess that makes sense.
When I'm eating bacon with like pancakes, I normally dip my bacon in syrup. I don't know if normal people do that.
I love that donut so much, man.
I mean, I do.
Donuts are just good. Like I said, I've never really had a bad glazed donut in my life.
Yeah.
I think
it's hard to mess up a donut.
Yeah, it is. These don't count, but me and my little sister made miniature donuts on one of those mini donut makers that we got from Hobby Lobby, and it wasn't good.
Yeah, that doesn't count. That's not a donut.
Yeah, that's a
small
I don't know what
circle
that is.
of dough.
But man, some donut holes and some milk, or just a regular donut and some milk. It's a great. Huh? I don't think it's gonna be loud. It always does this, and you don't really hear it. But it is what it is.
It happens.
I think it's using that microphone anyways. But,
so me getting close to that was pointless. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I did pretty good.
I think you did really good. You were close.
It might be the closest we've had, but I don't remember the first ones.
I think I've been pretty close on some, but
5%.
5% is really close. Yeah.
makes me excited for the next time I hit the gas. And I'm gonna be way off because I'm normally pretty bad at it. So.
Let's see. I guess we can talk about our lives now, which is what everyone always comes to listen to. Now that we've done the Shipley's, the Shipley's discussion, that was nearly perfect. You're like a tad off.
But did you see how fast I went?
Yeah, you went very. Dude, that was cool. I'm not discrediting you.
No, my chair is fixed.
Oh.
Like normally when
I thought you were trying to hit. My fault.
Oh, see, that's what it normally does. Oh man.
Did it shock you or something?
Yeah, it made me so happy because I was like, "What's wrong with my chair?" But it fixed itself and then it broke itself again apparently. So.
Excuse me. So, like Caleb
tummy
mentioned
growled.
earlier, I heard it.
I hope that picked up. That was so loud.
I really hope that picked up. Caleb's getting his donuts today. Actually, is today donut day?
It is.
Today's donut day.
We get 2 donuts every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and today is the last day.
Yeah. So talking about the rest of the week, while Caleb cries his eyeballs out. We mentioned it's finals week is next week. I actually have my first final today. Today at 12:30. If you want to send me prayers and thoughts, please do.
I will be.
I'm not as nervous as I was for it because I did some calculations on Canvas with their insert grade thingy that shows you what your grade would be.
My favorite part of Canvas.
I love the fact that they have that. I wish that Schoology had that when I was in Schoology because that would have saved my butt a lot of times. And I found out that to keep my B, I really don't have to do that great on it. So
you don't have to do that great. You don't have to do that bad. Wait, that doesn't make sense. I meant it in like you can still do bad and keep a B.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't have to do that great.
Yeah, but that great implies like as long as I make
I don't
like
have to
70.
I don't have to do good on the exam.
Yeah.
To keep my B, and I will have to knock it out to pull it up to an A. So, because technically,
go for that, knock it out.
I'm gonna go for it for sure. I've studied my butt off the past couple of days for this thing, but
yeah, I found out
we'll see.
In one of my classes, I'd have to make a 95 to get an A.
I said we'll see. I'm not gonna get a C.
No, don't see.
Don't see. But yeah, I'm pretty comfortable now that I know I don't have to do the bar's pretty low for me to still get the B that I want in this class. So I'm not going in scared.
This is experimental psych.
Yeah. Which was the hardest class I've took so far, except for maybe business calculus. Hardest psychology class I've took by far. And it was mostly the lab that was the hard part, not the lecture. Not that the lecture was easy, but the lecture just, you study for it and you do fine. And it's not a final per se. It's just exam 4, and he's calling it our final.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't count any extra. And then we got Thursday, Friday off before finals, and I have a final every day of next week until Friday. I don't have a final Friday. So
I have 2 on Monday and 1 on Wednesday.
I wish, dude.
And I'm pretty nervous about all 3 of them.
You got it, buddy.
Because in one of them, the lowest I can make is a B because we have a drop grade, but I'm literally on like the cusp of an A. I'm like 1 point off of an A. So all I have to do is make a 77 or something like that, which I think I can do that pretty easily. And then one of them is Spanish, and oh my goodness, I hate that class so much. I'm sorry if you're listening, my professor. It's not you.
Yeah, no, it's not the professor.
It's the class.
Same with my Spanish professor. It's not the professor. He's been like a chap, but
my professor's really nice. It's just like I don't get why they do so much.
It doesn't make sense.
It's a foreign language class. Like, brother, come on. Let me put my time and care into a different thing. Like, I think I have like 7 mind taps today, and they're all like 10 to 16 points. Like, that's just a lot, and I don't want to do them. But yeah, no, I'm nervous about the final in that class because like
same.
It's only 2 exams. I'm gonna go see what I made on the first one, but the first one was easy, and so that means if I make, and I'm like I've been at like a 90.5 all semester. Like if I make a bad grade, I go down to like a 90.3. If I make a good grade, I go to a 90.8. I have not left the 90. But that means if I make lower than whatever I made on the first one, then my grade will drop. And I'm pretty sure I did good on the first one. So,
Dude, with Spanish too, it should not be near as ridiculously hard as it is.
yeah.
Like,
I made an 88 on the first one.
yeah.
I have to make above an 88 to keep my A.
I was talking to Lauren and I used the word utterly ridiculous, like the two words utterly ridiculous, like 4 times. And she's like, Caleb, stop saying utterly ridiculous. I'm like, it is utterly ridiculous. The jump they expect you to make, you go from literally like colors and basic conjugation and high numbers and time to preterites and imperfect forms and grammar stuff I don't even know how to do in English. Like, you go to all of that, and it's ridiculous. Like, they do not prepare you in Spanish 1 for Spanish 2 at all. At least at Mississippi State. I don't know where it is other colleges, but it's utterly ridiculous that it's like that. And so, just to like put this in perspective, my hardest class this semester, even though Spanish 2 is going to be my lowest grade, it was experimental psych, because the amount of work I put into experimental psych is like triple the amount I put into any work amount of class except for business calculus.
I put a lot of time in my careers in psych.
I bet you did. But so I remember for the first like half of the semester I had a C in experimental psych, and then I finally started getting to a rhythm. I decided, a different way to kind of do stuff, and my grade went up and I had a B, and I was like, holy crap, I'm doing it. This experimental psych, this is the class that causes like most people to quit psychology. Like, I'm killing this. And I was so happy, like, oh, I'm not gonna have a C this semester, I'm getting past experimental psych. And then I remember looking through my grades and I'm like, holy crap, I have a C in Spanish too. And I had B's and A's and everything else. I was like, all right, it's okay, we still have another half of the semester to go. This is like at the fall break point of the year. It's like, I can pull this up. So I started putting in like major effort into Spanish 2, and the class got harder.
It's just
my
it's
grade
has
has dropped.
grade.
I know.
Like, I've put so much work
so
into
stupid.
Spanish, and I feel like I'm making high grades on everything, but my grade just
That's what I'm saying. They're saying like, if you do the work, you're going to get an A. That's bull crap, because I do the work. Like, I missed one lingua meeting, and that literally, like, I put it in because he took forever to grade the lingua meetings. I put it in, my grade was already a C. It just made it like a slightly lower C when I put in the 0 with all my other 100s for lingua meeting.
Yeah.
And he drops a quiz, so how the frick do I still have a C in that class? Like, I'm trying to look to see and pinpoint what's causing my grade to drop so low.
Is it the 0?
No, because it was a C before he put the 0 in for it. And like, I'm very confused as to what, unless it's because, I don't know what it could be that's having my grade at a C, because I've done the work and I've put in the effort, and I finally started studying for my quizzes, but quizzes don't even count for much in that class, and he drops my lowest one. So,
does he like do partial credit on quizzes?
No. I don't know.
It makes me so mad. Like, the quizzes are like unnecessarily hard,
I know.
and they're
Like, make
it's
a
so
multiple
annoying
choice.
yeah, it's for real. Like, why is Spanish, and I guess most foreign language classes, the exception to the rule of, like, in college? Like, I haven't had a professor yet that's been like, spelling is important.
Yeah, I know.
Like, they're like, if I get what you're saying, you're good.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm typing out Spanish, I'm gonna just use a translator. If I'm trying to talk to somebody, I'll probably still use a translator.
Yeah.
Either if that's a person
The
or
world is going to technology.
the app that's on my phone. Like, look at this.
No, like, even in math, like, my professor would give me, like, the answer was like, I don't know, this is a bad example because I never had an answer that was -1. They're always more complicated than that in calc. But let's say the answer was -1 and I just put 1, she'd still give me partial credit. If I miss a little accent mark, I don't get credit.
You get 0
I know.
points.
Like,
Hello, how are you? Look at that.
Mhm.
I can do that anywhere.
yeah, I know. And it's making me mad,
like, a lot of languages too. Not every language, but a lot of languages. And it's just like,
and I don't know who the
why?
head of the Spanish department is, but
They're getting a new professor. My professor told me that.
that person is the one who makes the curriculum. It's not the professors who
Yeah, I
do
know.
it. And because that's what our
Again,
professor has told us.
I like you,
And
Miss Professor.
yeah, like
I
my
know her
professor's
name.
a Chad.
name
Like
drops it.
my professor tries to make it easier. Like he gave us more attempts on. He had to like email. He's emailed the head at least. Uh, um, he's emailed the head of the department at least 30 times a semester to like try to fix things that we've talked about that are ridiculous that we have to do. And he's done the best he can. And he's even told us like the jump y'all are having to make from Spanish 1 to Spanish 2 is very, very hard.
Reminds me of computer
and-
science.
He said that like Spanish 3 and Spanish 4 are literally the same thing as Spanish 2. Like, then dumb down Spanish 2. If Spanish 3 and Spanish 4 are the same thing, like if you took Spanish 2 and then right after took Spanish 3, you would not have to do any work because you'd have all the work saved from Spanish 2. I was like, well, bull crap. Like,
That reminds me of computer science because like our professor was the most awful professor I've ever had. I hope he's listening because I don't like you.
Yeah, I
you
hate that
literally
guy.
took the joy out of the thing that I love doing. Like I loved coding until I took this class, and he just like ruined everything. I had to change majors. It was so bad. But like every single student like signed this thing in the class that was like, "Hey, this professor's awful." We sent it to the dean, and his response was, "Oh well." I was like,
yeah,
"Dude,
it's
what the
it's bad.
heck?" If you have every single student complaining about somebody, like, you don't have to fire him, but get on to him.
yeah, it's
Did I want him fired?
yeah.
As a, like, in a moment of weakness, yes, I did, because he was the absolute worst.
Dude, my thing is like, I knew it was gonna be like this in college, but like in high school, other than my math classes, because I just sucked at math and I had to work crazy hard to get B's in math. But like, if I got a B in another class, except for there were two exceptions to that. In my first science biology, because my teacher was just insanely strict and gave us so much work, I got a B in that class, and then Comp 1 because I didn't know how to write papers well yet. Comp
I
2.
apparently got a comp or a B in Comp 1, but
Yeah.
my GPA was over a 4, so I don't.
It's because it's because of that.
I think it's because
that .5
colleges
thing
don't
they give
do the
you.
0.5
Yeah,
thing,
that's true. Because I think
which
my
sucks,
I think
'cause-
mine was the same thing. Because I'm pretty sure on my high school GPA I had an A in Comp 1, but for college I don't know.
Yeah, I had an
But
A in.
in Comp 2 I had an A with that .5 multiplier, but so I got better at writing. But so other than those two exceptions, the only other classes I had B's in were math. I did not. I'm having to
Did you
put.
start that?
Yeah, I probably should. The amount of work I'm having to put in to get a B in a college class is like insane. This is like the hardest, except for like calculus last year, and I had to put in work in calculus to pass. Like it was bad, but like, and I'm like, man, high school does not prepare you for college at all.
Sit break?
Sit break. Like,
Yeah, no, it's like
it's bad, man. Like college really, like they tell you like the point of college or high school is to prepare you for college. Point of college is to prepare you for your career. And maybe so far I'm still in like the first half of my college life, so it's possible that
I mean, I feel
it hasn't prepared me yet, but it will because I still have a bunch of classes I have to take. But so far, neither has prepared me for what they're saying they're going to prepare me for. And
It's still early on.
it's still early, so I'm not like counting out college, but high school did not prepare me for college
Yeah,
at
high
all.
school was a joke.
My first,
I did not try that hard.
Oh, I know.
In high school, and I was number 5.
dude, my first semester of college like hit me so hard because I started out, I thought everything was fine. I thought this is easier than high school. I don't have near as many classes. I have so much free time. I'm going to be fine. And then my first exams came by, and I was like, holy crap, this is
those
not.
first exams put you in the place.
Oh, absolutely.
They do that every year,
And then
though.
it took me forever in my first semester to figure out how to study. And then I finally figured out how to study. And then I went to my second semester. My classes were just harder than my first semester. And
I'm still really bad at studying.
like,
Yeah, I had to try way harder second semester, and
I
I
did
still
too.
got 2 really bad grades because of calculus and computer
Mhm.
programming.
none are as bad as I got a bad grade in dev psych, and I don't really blame myself for that because the professor just kept telling stories about her life. So my notes were just like Miss, I'm not gonna say her name and out loud because I actually like her as a person, but Miss Blank took kid to store, and this happened. I was like, "This, how am I supposed to study this?" And then my other one was psych of abnormal behavior, and it was like hard because they would give you the definitions of what these disorders were and like the proper medications and treatments to like help them, and then all the exam would just be like paragraph long examples, and I had no idea how to dissect it and like figure out what it was, and it was making me mad. But
I've got pretty good this semester of like taking a lot of notes and like dissecting it down to like some short information. So I'm taking abnormal behavior next year. So
I loved abnormal behavior. My favorite part was I got to write a paper, and I wrote about like you get to write about how a fictional character like has a disorder. There was one person who wrote about Michael Scott having narcissism, but I wrote Harry Osborn and schizophrenia. I made a 100 on that paper, and it was so great because it was awesome. I loved writing that paper, and it was the most interesting class I've had so far because it was the most fun to learn about. But it's just the exam. All you had was that paper, exams, and some homework questions, and the exams obviously carried all that weight. Yeah. And my exams just weren't that good because it was so hard to study. I've gotten better at it. I can tell from experimental psych I'm getting better at like looking at psychology information and being able to apply it, which is good. So I guess they are preparing me for the real world. But we were told by Miss Armstrong in Career in Psych, like Mississippi State's curriculum is not really preparing you to go get a job after 4 years. It's preparing you for grad school, which is fine because
I want to make money.
Yeah, like I'm more than likely. It depends. I haven't decided yet. I'm also getting a minor in marketing, and if I can get a good marketing job out of college, meaning like I'm not going to work for a pharmaceutical company and try to sell medicine to people, but a job at a place I'd love to work at, then I'm going to take it, and if I don't, that's fine. I still have
you'll have like a big movie coming up. Probably.
Exactly. But I'll still have my master's or my doctorate or possibly med school if I decide, or if I can get into med school and decide I want to go to med school, or even seminary. So
yeah,
I have a lot of options, which I'm happy about because I'm not really stressed about. I mean, I'm stressed about it. I always think about like, oh gosh, am I going to be able to get a job? Am I going to be able to get into grad school and all this stuff just because my first year was like not good grade-wise. So it's something I always stress about, but I think I'll be fine just because I have so many options as to what I can do once I get my undergrad, which really isn't that far away, like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So
I have a question.
Go for it.
What did you do over Thanksgiving break?
Oh, thanks for asking. I hung out with Lauren a lot. I had 3 different Thanksgivings, so that was fun. And Black Friday shopping. This is a great story. So, Lauren and her family wanted to go to Leeds, Alabama, which is right outside of Birmingham, because this outlet mall was doing this first 500 people get swag bags. And in the swag bags, you could win anything from $10 of gift cards up to $500 of gift cards or $1,000 worth of items, like, in your swag bag. So, I even told them, like, we're going to end up getting the $10 stuff, right? Like, there's no way they're going to give away that much money to that many people. But they still wanted to go and all that stuff, which I was fine with. Like, I like spending time with my girlfriend, so I wasn't upset about it or anything.
That's sweet.
But
it was early in the morning.
Oh, gosh. We were originally going to leave at 2 a.m. to get there around 4 and wait in line, and then they tweeted out or posted on Facebook that their cafe would be opening at 1 in the morning. So they're like, oh gosh, we probably should get there earlier then. And so we left at 11 at night. Got there around 1:24. We stopped at Buc-ee's, which was great. Got in line. There were so many people there. There were people with heaters, pillows. Some person had a tent, like, sitting in that line.
I've never seen that.
It was insane. I was like, guys, it is 1 in the morning. Like, this swag bag cannot be worth it. Well, I guess I don't know why I was judging, because I'm assuming they had been there a lot longer than we had, even though we were getting there at 1 in the morning. And so we got there, and I was number 204 in the line of 500. We waited in line until we got the swag bags at 6:30. Oh gosh. And It felt like an eternity. I tried to get Lauren to watch some of my favorite movies while we were there. We started watching The Departed, and she couldn't get into it, which is shocking because The Departed is such a great movie. And then we tried to watch Fight Club, and it got too brutal for her, so we turned off Fight Club. And I don't know what we did after that. I think she took a nap, and I just kind of sat there because I could not sleep in a folding chair. So it was also raining, which sucked.
I couldn't sleep around all those people.
Yeah, I know. But, so, my swag bag was the best out of the four of us. I got this, I can't say it because it's a Christmas present for somebody.
I got something.
It was valued at $50 according to the price tag that was on it. So, I got the best gift. Lauren and her stepdad got a gift card to Mountain Outfitters for $25. And Lauren's mom got a $25 gift card to the fragrance store, or the fragrance shop, which is a bad deal because everything at the fragrance shop is like over $150. And we all also got $10 off, or not $10, 10% off of the fragrance store if you spend $150. A little coupon. So
whoa,
such a stupid thing. But Lauren's mom also got this Santa purse in her bag, and I got a free paintball thingy, like go play paintball for free. Me and Lauren got this museum pass thingy. There was some little stuff in there, but I was like, guys, this was not worth that. So I think they all agreed. So I don't think they're going to go back next year. But
I think we should go back next year.
I mean,
as a next topic media group.
I mean, it wasn't the worst thing. I mean, some people did win some cool prizes. One person won a bike. Someone got a $500 gift card. The person, like, right behind me, and I was so mad, the person right behind me got, like, a G-Shock watch. And I've always wanted a G-Shock watch. And some person got $1,000 worth of jewelry from K's. So, like...
I'd sell that so fast.
Yeah, I know.
Unless it was, like, really beautiful, then I'd save it as,
yeah,
like, a gift and be, like, 10 years down the line.
But no, it's definitely, like... There was some cool stuff for sure. Like, I could see why it would be worth it if you waited in line that long and got something cool. But, I don't know, for me... I don't like waiting in lines unless it's for something like a movie. Like, I waited in line for Infinity War, and that was a fun experience because I was actually excited for what I was about to get. But ended up going to Buc-ee's after again, which was great, and I love Buc-ee's. Best part of the trip. But it wasn't like a horrible experience. I had some fun waiting in line, and sure, I was exhausted and I slept on and off the entire day, and then went to bed at like 8:30 and woke up at 11 in the morning the next when I got back. But it was fun. How was your Thanksgiving break, Caleb?
It was okay. It was fun. My parents went to Israel for it, so I didn't really have any big plans. We went and had Thanksgiving at a friend's house, and it was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the highlight of Thanksgiving for me. But yeah, no, we did that on Thursday for Thanksgiving, and then so my sister came up and she spent the night in our apartment because I didn't want to go back that night to my house because I wanted to play video games. So that's what I did. Played some Overwatch. It was fun. She got to play on our Wii, and she kept like screaming about how nostalgic it was. I was like, that's sweet. It was pretty nostalgic for me when I turned it on, and I'm older than she is, but so that was fun. And then we went home on Friday. Stopped at GameStop for some Black Friday shopping. Didn't see anything I wanted. I saw a few things I wanted. Like, there was this cool pop that was a GameStop exclusive that also came with a shirt. But the shirt was a medium, and I wear a large. I mean, I can wear a medium, but it's more comfortable to wear a large.
I love the pop tees, dude. They're cool.
And they looked cool. It looked cool. It was a no-skate from Demon
I have
Slayer.
the Back to the
I'm kind of
Future.
mad at myself.
I have the Back to the Future shirt. It came with that Walmart Back to the Future pop.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I love Back to the Future. Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
But, yeah, I kind of wish I'd bought it, but I'm glad I didn't in the grand scheme of things because I'll get into it in a second. But, yeah, no, it was like $28. They said all the pops were 30% off. It was not 30% off, or I would have got it.
Yeah.
But You know, I was in like a spending mood because I also bought like a Demon Slayer figurine that I think would make a good little set piece.
I remember when you sent me that. It was right, like, as soon as the clock hit 0 in the egg bowl, you sent me that when you were like, buying this for the win. I was like, he had that locked and loaded. Ready. He already bought that. He was just waiting to send it to us.
I'll get into that real quick. I was like, Crunchyroll, the store, was having like a big sale for the Cyber Weekend. And I was like, I was looking through it. And then I found a couple cool figurines.
Yeah.
And they were like, normally anime figurines, like the big ones are like $200. Like you're not going to find one for cheaper than that. But this was like, I think 7 or 8 inches tall, which is like pretty big for a figurine. And it was only $13 because of the sale. And then it was like $18 when you added like the shipping. And so I was like going through the thing. I was like, I'm going to buy this. And then I got to like the whole payment thing. And then I thought that there was one more screen because I was still like, should I not? And so I hit continue or like buy or whatever. And then it said, thank you for your purchase. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm buying it. So, because like I couldn't go back after that. I was like, well, I mean, I'm not mad about it. So
Yeah.
I bought that. It got delivered to my house yesterday. I'm really excited to see it.
Nice.
But, yeah, and anyways, didn't see anything I wanted at GameStop. But there was a game that had a cool name. It was called like Soul Hackers 2. I thought that sounded kind of cool.
Sounds really cool.
So me and Joy went to Chick-fil-A afterwards so I could get a peppermint shake and lunch. It was so good. But I looked up Soul Hackers 2 because the name was cool. Found out it was like a sequel to like a 25-year-old game.
Yeah.
But like IGN gave it like a 6. And I was thinking about getting it because I was like, I want a new game to play. Not that I'm tired of Overwatch 2. It's just I haven't played a single-player game in a hot minute. So, and every time I see one of those games, it's like that type of game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a JRPG.
I get what you're saying.
I like JRPGs.
Yeah.
They all interest me, but they're typically kind of bad. So
Yeah.
I looked it up, got like a 6, and then I looked up another game that I saw, it got like an 8. And I was like, I thought back, I was like, I remember one time I saw this game called Tales of Arise, and I thought it looked cool. I looked up gameplay, but I never looked up anything else about it. And so I looked it up on IGN. They gave it like a 9. They were like, this is a masterpiece almost. It like just has a couple flaws and like some of the dubbing essentially. Like he was like, there's like next to no flaws in the game. It's just like all some like minor flaws. And I was like, okay, that's pretty good. And so I looked up, like IGN's pretty crappy with their reviews sometimes. So like Metacritic gave it an 84, and they're harsh. Like 84 is good. And then like a bunch of other things gave it 9s. There were some super high 9s. I was like, I think I might get this. And it was like 65% off. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to get this.
I'm going to get this.
And I've only played it like 5 hours, but it could definitely be a top 10 video game.
Wow.
It is so fun.
That's good.
It's really addicting. I'm happy I bought it.
Yeah.
So
I love that feeling when you buy a video game you don't know about and you're like, should I? And then you do it and it's great.
That
was me with Skate 3. Like, I had not like looked up Skate 3 or anything, and I was like, it's only $20 right now, and this was during my skateboarding phase, so I was like, I really want to play this, and it ended up being like one of the most fun games I ever played because I didn't realize it was so like free roam, and it was so much fun. But yeah.
But I got to go pick up my parents from the airport. So
GTR?
No, not from the airport. They drove from Atlanta to the church. I got to go pick them up from the church. It was like 12 midnight. But that's pretty much all I did over Thanksgiving. I started watching Love, Death, and Robots, but Julia didn't want to watch it because it was kind of like nasty. But so we ended up watching Love is Blind season 3. It was not very fun to watch.
It's a wild ride.
But we got like 8 episodes in, so
it was
on a cliffhanger. So when we
Yeah.
came here, I watched through like when they get married or whatever. It was bad. It was sad too. My favorite guy got like absolutely
rejected,
destroyed, like just beat down for no reason. And I was rooting for him the whole time because the girl was super awesome until that moment when she started treating him like trash at their wedding.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying, I didn't watch the whole show, so I don't know, like, everything she said to him could have been true, I don't know. And if it was, that's fine. You can tell him off if what you were saying is true. But I think, like, instead of telling him off in front of everybody, you probably should have just, like, said no and then afterwards explain, like, hey, this is
she
why.
She shouldn't have gone to the wedding.
Like, yeah.
They didn't have to. They could have said no.
Like,
because then you just put on this whole wedding that people dressed up for just to trash talk your fiance at the aisle or at the altar. Like,
yeah. I agree.
So bad.
But
like, he wasn't the best guy ever, but he was always being. Oh, there's my alarm. He was always being like joking and nice with her, and then she would just be a booty hole out of nowhere.
Booty hole.
But
yeah,
I mean, apparently I looked it up after. Apparently she's like a psycho now. Like, she's like tried like stalking him or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's like something that Screen Rant put out that was like, why if the fans of Love Is Blind think she's crazy? And I was like, I mean, I don't know. I thought she was really cool until that episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I still have to watch like the catch-up episodes, like how it's been going.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really want to.
Yeah, but you're
going
to.
Yeah, it's not that good.
I watched the.
And besides that, I'm watching like really good shows right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chainsaw Man is amazing. After
I shaved.
After being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school
That
runaway.
show's-
It's like super good.
It hurts my heart, man, but I'm
watching
it so
Breaking
much.
Bad too. Like, I'm watching S-tier shows, and
For
then
sure.
in the middle of that, I'm watching some like crummy reality
Yeah.
TV drama, and it's like, it's annoying me that I want to finish it.
I remember watching the first season of Love Is Blind. I watched it because it was out and everyone was talking about it. And
it's a cool concept.
It is, and
I don't think I could like any of.
There was this one girl who I wasn't going for because she was just a jerk. Like, she liked this one guy like a lot, and she kept saying how much she actually liked him, but she ended up saying yes to another guy who was like madly in love with her. And I was so scared she was gonna say yes, just because the other guy was getting married to this other girl, and I was like, oh my gosh. And she kept trying to flirt with that other guy and all this stuff, and said just a bunch of horrible things. And then she ended up saying no, and I was like, thank God she said no. But she tore out this dude's heart because she still liked the other guy. And then she ended up, they did the 6-month thing, which is what they do right after. It's the episode that comes out right after. And then they ended up doing a 2-year thing with the first season cast. Like 2 years later, and they all put them together, and she still started trying to cause crap. And it was bad. But
it's like they forgot that they were on TV or on a camera show sometimes. Like, they would say like the most evil things about the other people on the show.
yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop. Say this to your fiance like at 3 in the morning when the cameras aren't in your room.
Yeah, for
Chill
sure.
out. But
I'm with you.
I mean, it was a pretty entertaining show. I definitely don't think that I could like the other shows, like the other like dating shows, like the other ones. I can't think of any of them. Love Is Blind has the coolest concept.
I don't know why I watch Netflix reality shows, but I can't help myself because I do it. I want to watch I think it's called The Mule. It's the newest one where there's like, have all these challenges, and there's this one person on their team trying to sabotage them, and the goal of the game is to figure out who's trying to sabotage. Yeah, pretty much. But I want to watch that one. I watched The Circle, and other than the people they put on The Circle sometimes, The Circle is like a really cool show, and it's fun to watch.
I remember Julia started watching The Circle when I was at home over the summer, and like, I dipped so fast.
I like it.
I went to play Spider-Man.
I wish they put better people on the show. Cause
whoever was on it in like the opening scene of the first episode was really annoying.
Yeah.
So I left.
But, I'm trying to think if there's anything to talk about. We still got at least 25 minutes before we probably would have to pack it up and start getting ready for class. Or maybe 10 minutes. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes you to get ready for class.
I don't have an 8 a.m. today, so.
I do. I don't have to go. It's the class that attendance is 25%, but he's not taking attendance today. It's just review for the final exam, which I'm probably just going to go just in case there's something I want to
I'll walk to
miss.
campus with you if you want me to.
I'll
play video games.
If you want to. It's up to you. If you'd rather play video games, play video games. But, Spanish is also review today, and I need to go, but I'm also trying to study for my experimental psych exam today during that time, but I'll see.
My 8 a.m. isn't having class. Spanish is review. That's my 9 a.m. 11 is review. It's psychology. And then in my 1 o'clock geography class, for the last day of class, we're like presenting a project.
Oh, gosh.
And 30 people have to go.
Yeah.
I don't know how she wants us to do that. She was like, just keep them 1 to 2 minutes. I'm like,
That's
not gonna happen.
That just reminded me. Oh my gosh! So
I mean, I'm okay with that. I hope I don't have to present because I don't like doing that.
In my experimental psych class, you have like this big lab assignment. It's your capstone. It's your own individual correlational design, and you have to like create the survey, take the answers, put them in Excel, figure out how to code R to get your results. It's this huge thing, and it's worth like the most points in the class. And that's probably why I have a B in the class, because I did great on it. But anyways, you also have to make a PowerPoint presentation for it. All right, and they told us at the beginning of the year we're not presenting these to the class because it would take too long. We just have to make a PowerPoint presentation because that's part of writing an original paper you have to present to people. So you're going to make a PowerPoint to hit the high points. They gave us an example of what it was supposed to look like. All good. It was worth 20 points. I got 20 points on it, on the presentation part. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, our TA like changed his mind and was like, oh yeah, I'm going to have you guys present these.
No, you are not.
And this week, the week before our final exam, the week of our final exam, when lab was supposed to be review for the final exam, we're just going to present instead. So it really made me mad. And the attendance for lab was optional for the entire class, or for the entire year. I went at first half of the year because it was hard and I didn't know what I was doing. But once I figured it out, I realized, you know what? Lab's just 50 minutes of me sitting there doing work I can do at home now. I don't need the help at this point. So I stopped going. And he told us in a WebEx lab, and a lot of people didn't know we had to present, and the group me started exploding because we had to present, and when we had to present, and while we were presenting, why he just automatically changed his mind. And then I got the 20 out of 20 for my presentation, so I don't know like if I'm still supposed to present. He said he's counting off if we don't present, but once again, I've calculated what would happen if I got a 0 on the presentation part and nothing bad happens to my grade. So it just really made me mad because we were supposed to be reviewing in lab, and now we're not. And because people are presenting their assignments, and I don't know. The whole thing was blown out of proportion by some of the students. But my TA, just like at the end of the year, he just kind of went AWOL. I liked him at first, but then he just started doing all this crazy crap, and he kept having to cancel and all this stuff, but still wanted us to present. Like, he's not going to be there today, but we're presenting in WebEx. I'm like, y'all have fun with that. I'm not presenting. Y'all have fun. I mean, I'm not... No.
Dude, one of my professors, we were told at the beginning of the year, like, he always goes to the end of class. He never cancels class, and, like, he absolutely has to. And he's canceled class more than any professor I've had. Like, most of my professors are, like, unless they or immediate family are sick, they're not canceling class. He's been like, yeah, I don't want to talk today. Class is canceled.
I have a professor like that.
It's like... I hate the class. I absolutely despise going to biology. It is the worst thing ever. Like, our 15-minute classes are only 25 minutes longer than the Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes. But, like, they feel like 10 years longer. Like, I sit there for an hour. I'm like, all right, class is almost over. And then I look at my phone. It's been 15 minutes. I'm like, oh, my gosh. But, like... Yesterday was the last day of class, and he canceled the class because he said, I'm losing my voice. I'm like, dude, I don't care if you're losing your voice. You're a professor. Get over it. Like, the last things that are in our notes are online right now, and I haven't looked at them. I don't like online classes. I do not learn online. Like,
if there's an online lecture, I don't watch it unless I just absolutely have to.
I can't bring myself to do it.
No, like one of my professors, I like her because she gives us a study guide for each exam, and the exams are almost word for word what the study guide is. So you really don't have to go to class. You just have to go listen for her to give you the answers to the study guide. But attendance is required for the class, but we'll get there.
My mom said shave the goatee first.
But we'll get there, and like 30 minutes later, like, you know what? I really don't want to talk today. Y'all have a great day. I'm like, really? I got here for this, like, and it's so funny because that's like an important class. And then art attendance is part of the grade, and she talks for the full hour and 15 minutes, and sometimes goes over and always starts on time and always has something to say. I'm like, you know, I wish the classes I cared about had the same gusto that you have for this, because, boy, I'd love to learn. But
I can't stand when teachers like are teaching one of those super elective classes and they make everybody treat it as if it's their major. It's like, dude, do you want me to hate X class because
Yeah.
I do.
I mean,
I will never
and-
take another class like this again because of you.
once again, my art professor, I loved my art professor. She was really cool. She was really nice. Like, she tried to make it interesting. I just could not get interested in it. Like, I just did not care, like, what year the little figurine of the Egyptian worshippers was made. Like, I just did not care. I tried to care because I really liked my professor, but at that, there was just a point I was like, I cannot go to this class. But I had to because attendance was required. But it was a good hour, 15 minutes. I started sitting at the top of the class. It was this huge auditorium in Giles, so she couldn't see my MacBook because she like told us like, I know it's art. Y'all probably gonna be doing something else, but if I pass you, please turn off whatever you're doing because I'll get distracted. And I was like, okay, that's fair. So I started sitting at the top so she wouldn't come by my MacBook, and I got a lot of work done in that class. So it was time well spent at least. But I just
The Overwatch 2 Season 2 trailer dropped yesterday.
and it was.
Oh, it's so exciting. It's like Greek theme. It's like called the Battle for Olympus or something.
Yeah.
So all the characters, not all the characters, a lot of characters are getting Greek themed skin.
Dude.
The new character's getting a Poseidon skin and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
The main skin, they're doing like a mythic skin now where you can like change the colors of the skin. It's like Zeus. It looks sick.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other really cool ones.
Dude, the Andor finale.
Still need to watch
Oh my
Andor.
gosh, dude. Andor was perfect. Like, oh my gosh, it was so good.
Oh, that means Cosmonaut's gonna review it soon.
Oh, it was so
Go
good,
Cosmonaut.
man.
Cosmonaut, if you're watching.
Me and
you should
Evan are
subscribe.
reviewing it tomorrow, but
Maybe I can knock it out in a day and we can review
dude,
and
it was
teach Griff.
so good, man. Like, so good, so good, so good. It was beautiful. It was perfect. Made me cry once.
I need to watch it. There's like the weekly Disney Plus shows have
Yeah.
just not.
They haven't been
They
good.
had- like they. It's not even that they haven't been good. Like most of them haven't. But like, it was hard for me to even watch Loki week by week.
Yeah.
And I don't
I
know
know.
why.
Like,
I can watch other. I have a hard time watching shows weekly, but like, I was talking to Colton about this, but the first show that I've had an easy time watching weekly is Chainsaw Man. Every other show that I've tried to watch weekly, I've had to wait a couple weeks for a couple episodes to come out. But
yeah. I just
Chainsaw
forget
Man's
about
different
it
because
sometimes.
they have a different outro each episode. And
Yeah.
I think that's sick. It's also super
dude.
good. So I have a hard time watching shows weekly, and then add on top of that they're like long.
Yeah.
Like most shows I watch weekly are like 20 minutes, and the Marvel and Star Wars shows have been like close to an hour. And it's like
And recently, other than Andor, they've all been pretty bad. Like, Boba Fett wasn't good. Obi-Wan was awful. She-Hulk was awful. What was the show before She-Hulk? Hawkeye, or was there something? Moon Knight. Moon Knight was good, but recently they haven't been up to par. But dude, Andor, like, this is the first time like I know that the Empire have been the bad guys, but like, you look at them and it's like, okay, they just took over the galaxy. What are they doing that's so bad?
all Star Wars ever shows of the bad guys is them being bad guys.
Yeah.
Like they just showed them sitting there, and they're
I
like,
know.
"We gotta kill them." And
Other
they're just
than
like,
episode 7 where the stormtroopers just like killed that entire village in the opening scene, like you really don't see anything too bad. Andor, dude, like I physically hate the Empire after watching Andor. Like I wanna hurt them because of like, and even like showing the beginning of the rebellion and how hardcore there was, and the things they did were like pretty bad too, but like they had to do it for the cause, and it was like, this is actually showing us like why people like it was. Oh my gosh, I loved it, man. It was so well executed, and yeah.
go watch the Two Nerds on a Boat episode that's coming up tomorrow. I'm guessing.
Yep. If you want to know about Andor, I'm sure we'll spoil it, but if you don't care and you want to know, it's great for you. But with that being said,
There's also a new show coming out soon.
oh yeah, we gotta get some artwork for that, so we can release the first episode. Because that's why I haven't released it yet, because I don't have any artwork.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in
We have a
progress.
video filmed,
But yeah,
but I mean, when we wait on it, it's fine because then that gives me and Evan a couple more weeks
Yeah.
before we can film other stuff. So
let Chainsaw Man finish and all that stuff.
when Chainsaw Man finishes, I think we're gonna do like a ranking all the episodes by their outro song.
Nice.
I already know what's number one. I mean, all the episodes aren't out, but oh my goodness, episode 2's outro is so
Yeah.
good. But yeah, we'll probably do a Chainsaw Man review too. So.
Oh man, I don't know where that stopped.
I think it like just stopped.
Yeah, it looks like it did. All right, but
yeah, that's an hour. We should.
With that being said,
that's the longest we've gone without a guest star.
Yeah, it was fun too. It just was. I love this show. It's my favorite show.
I didn't want to stop talking today.
I don't either, but I gotta go to class. So,
it's broken. No.
So unless y'all want to go to class with me, take the phone and just we're going. I'm just joking. But
Shut up. It's a bad idea.
With that being said,
my legs are out. Don't normally get to see this.
With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for listening. If you're listening on Spotify or anywhere else you get your podcast,
thank you very much.
I'm Crisp.
I'm Peach.
Oh, this is the wrong show.
Oh
No!
Daniel's gonna be so mad.
Oh man. Sorry. I'm Caleb Griffin.
I'm Caleb Ladd.
And this has been Caleb AM, your Wednesday morning caffeine.
I love you, bro.
I love you too, bro. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye-bye.